Welcome. I'm back with another reading. You're with the Nasty Pastor. I'm back. I hope this be a chapter reading that this book finally opens up to me. You know, we're reading from on Isis and Osiris. And I can't wait because see, there are some things in my past I've read about Osiris and Isis, especially about Osiris. You know, I can't, my brain don't work where that I can sit and think about everything I've read, everything I've learned. It don't work like that. I need a guide. I need something to trigger it. I need something to help me remember it. But I'll be glad once it open up because, you know, these go together, to be honest with you. See these? They go together. They go together. You know, our history is rewritten, but our history is here. You got me? And if you know your history here, you can see what they've done to your history here. Okay, this would be chapter what, 6? And it starts with the wisest of the Greeks bear testimony to this, such as Solon, Thales, Plato, Eudoxus, Pythagoras, some say Lycurgus also, by their traveling into Egypt and conversing with the priests. Eudoxus, for example, they say received lessons from Chanufius of Memphis. Let me pause this right quick. Plato, Socrates, y'all know who that is, right? They're like I don't want to really call them poets, but they write a lot of literature. They write a lot of insight about the world, a lot of analogies and stuff like that. All of them used to come on in Egypt. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It's after Christ. You got what I'm saying? But all of them used to come on over in Egypt to get some lessons. Because as I say, you know, you can conquer a world, but you still need the world to back your history, your culture history. So you have to leave fruit in other cultures. You can rewrite some stuff, but there's some stuff you will never be able to touch. Because if you touch it, it taints what you have put out about your culture. Let me get on back into this. And once again, if this book is from alchemy, why the Greeks writing this? Why are the Greeks putting this out to the world? Once again, as I said, Alexander the Great gave Jews, Arabs, whatever you be in the Middle East, power in Egypt. But one thing that Alexander the Great did was what? Control how it will be received in the world. Get me? Get it? They probably learned Arabic, they probably learned Hebrew before they learned Kemet language, Egyptian language. You give me Kemet language, ancient, before Christ, Egyptian language. You feel me? So if they learned Arabic, if they learned Hebrew, all that before they learned the language in Kemet, you feel me? Before they learned the language in Kemet, how can we stand on anything that these Greeks have given us? Use your brain. Use your common sense. That's what our Creator gave you. Common sense. Man said we have to go to school. Man said we have to have a piece of paper signed by a scholar saying that we reached a certain level of education. We came out our mama womb scholars. Understand? Scholars. So, Solon from Sanchez of Sais, Pythagoras from Oniphus of Heliopolis, and he being probably the most admired of these visitors, and himself admiring of people, copied their symbolical and mysterious style, and wrapped up his doctrines in enigmas. For the most part of the Pythagorean precepts do not fall short of the so-called hieroglyphic writings in obscurity, such for instance as not to eat off a chair, not to sit down upon a corn measure, not to plant a palm tree, not to stir the fire with a sword in the house. Now let me say this right here. Let me, hold my spot. Let me say this, right here, Kemet is beautiful. What was started in Kemet, beautiful. You got what I'm saying? Beautiful. What it ended up to be is a bunch of confusion because somebody want to be the most dominant culture on this rock, but don't have the truth to back why they are dominant. Don't have it. Don't have it at all. They would rather for you to be scared of Satan than to stand up to Satan and tell Satan, leave you alone. They would rather for you to run into their churches, their building of worship, and pray to a priest that really don't care nothing about you. A priest that is putting his wickedness or her wickedness into your life. Look, going straight to the high power. Going straight to your maker. Talk to your maker. So your maker can lay hands, can lay words upon your priest. Feel me? Can lay words, can lay hands upon your priest to guide a truthful message to you. And I myself think that the fact that the men of his sect, called the unit, Apollo, the two Diana, the seven Minerva, and Neptune, the first cube, is analogous to the things set up upon the temples, and in truth to those done and painted there. For the king and lord, Osiris, they represented by an eye and a scepter, and some even interpret the name as many-eyed, the as signifying many, and the Ari, eye, in the Egyptian language, and heaven as being exempt from old age by reason of its eternity by a heart, with an altar of incense placed below it. And in Thebes there were dedicated statues of judges wanting the hands, whilst that of the chief judge had also the eyes closed, showing that justice is above bribes and not to be moved by prayer. You get it? Justice. In other words, you can't bribe me to tell a lie. I have a law to uphold, but I would take a bribe from you to ruin someone else's life? Is that not what they done to Jesus Christ? Is that not what they done to Jesus Christ? And I mean, they didn't bribe the Romans. The Romans just didn't want to go against the Jewish priests. Whatever the Jewish priest said this what the Roman says is. Feel me? At the end of the day, the Romans governed the Middle East. You understand me? They was the judicial system of the Middle East. You feel me? Why didn't the Jews have their own judges, Why did the Jews have to report to the Romans? Why? They already owned them. They already came into their land, took their history, you feel me, and wrote it the way they want it to be presented to the world. The military class had the beetle for device on signet, for the beetle is never female, but all are males, and they breed by depositing their seed in balls of dung. Since they make these balls not so much to provide material for food as a place for propagation of their kind. I hope y'all understood something. I hope that this not wasteful to you. You know, as I said before, please go learn about your ancestors. Please read about them. They was great people. You know what I mean? They helped forge our dynasty. They helped forge our legacy. They helped forge a culture that is looked upon very highly. Looked upon very highly from our Maker. Looked upon very highly amongst the scholars. You know, so-called scholars, if you rather for me to say it to you that way. Anywho, once again, I am the Nasty Pastor. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Only Faith Ministries, Kemet Edition. You will find the teachings of Pizza Hotel, the full readings, the full chapter readings of the teachings of Pizza Hotel. And that is the first book known to mankind. You feel me? The first book, the first literature that was structured in a way it had to be released to the world. You feel me? To the world. This is how you do this. This is the standard of doing this. And yes, yeah, it comes from the Greeks. You know what I mean? It comes from the Greeks. It comes from Europe. You feel me? This is the way Europe says it's going to be done. This is the way these Jewish publishing houses say it's going to be done. This is how it's going to be presented. Tell you what, you got me? Write your book. Write your testimony. The 5%ers told me that every man, every God has to write a Bible. Have to write a testament. You feel me? You get me? It's in all of us to be priests. It's in all of us to walk in light. It's in all of us to be righteous. You have to fight off the wickedness. You love your Creator, then your Creator gonna love you. Hey, I'm out. I love you.